Hey everyone, welcome to the Tiny Studio. I'm your girl Nell. How are things going with you? I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I think Grogu is having a great day. What you think? I'm going to put him somewhere else in the Tiny Studio because I like him and I have him up here because my daughter bought it for me. But you know, well, maybe I'll just let them sit there a little bit. I'm trying to, coordinate and get the tiny studio to look kind of, cool on camera. But my baby bought me this, so maybe that's going to be Grogu's permanent home. So how are you today? This is a Dreadlock love video, baby, and I am here, your girl, to talk to you about everything dreadlocks. So today's video is coming straight from you, the viewer bag, the viewer questioning bag. And the question or the comment that was presented to me is about the way locks grow. Are you a innie or are you a outie? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the way our locks grow. I'm talking about whether or not when you have new growth, does your new growth immediately join the group? Or does your new growth decide it's gonna do its own thing? It's Ms. or Mr. Independent. How do we know? Well, we know this, or you can tell whether you're an innie or an outie just by the way your hair, your new growth grows into the lock. So I have a perfect example here. Okay, so here is my lock. Okay, and as you see, I have new growth, right? You see that new growth? It's coming in. So what's happening for me, I have always been an innie, which means that my locks, my new growth, thank you, Miss Constance. That's my daughter, Connie. She's an outie, but I'll tell you about that later. So for me, when my new growth comes in, it grows, and then I'm a free former, so I don't do anything to it. And then eventually over time it will grow right into this lock. I don't have to retwist it. I don't have to do anything to it to get it to eventually come in line with the rest of the group. Now as my hair becomes progressively um, turning to that beautiful shade of white, sometimes the white hair is a little bit more tough in trying to, um, you know, settle in with the rest of the bunch, but it eventually gets there. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this piece of white here, which has decided that it doesn't want to be part of the club, does not want to be part of the troop. It just wants to do its own thing. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to twist it. Well, I can do that right now. I'm going to twist it since it wants to do its own thing. I'm going to twist it, and I call that the finger roll. Twist it up, and it eventually will become its own lock, or I will incorporate it. What that remind you of? I'll be doing some crazy stuff here in the tiny studio. But what I'll probably do is, like I just did, I'll probably put some of my lock butter on it, and then see if it will just become an independent lock on its own. Maybe I'll do that, just leave it because I'm a free former, or maybe I'll incorporate it into one of my other locks. But what do you do if you have locks, if your new growth doesn't grow into the lock? Well, if you're not a free former, what you can do is you can go ahead and use some aloe vera, or some aloe vera gel, or some flaxseed gel, and you could begin to finger twist your new growth into your existing lock, and maybe within a couple of weeks or more, maybe a month's time, then your lock will, then that new growth will grow into the existing lock that it's supposed to marry with. But yes, I am an innie. My daughter is an outie. Her new growth grows away from the lock. And what I found with my daughter is that she is I want to say a semi freeformer. I retwist her hair about twice a year. And I do that. Because of her hair type and the fact that the new growth, is so much of it, and her hair grows pretty fast. So when she washes it and then I pull it apart, or unmarry the strands, then I take that new growth and with some flaxseed oil, with some flaxseed gel that I make, or some aloe vera oil or aloe vera gel, what I do is then I retwist the new growth into the existing lock. I braid it, and she keeps it braided for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then when she unbraids it, then that new growth is married into her lock, and then of course the process begins again. But I think because a lot of people do not understand the way their hair grows, and this is a new adventure for them, many may feel that having hair that grows outside of your lock is a problem. And it really isn't. It just means that you have to make a decision. And the decision will be how much or how often will you retwist your locks? How often do you want to retwist your locks? And here's the thing about hair growing away, new growth growing away from your lock. That's just the nature of how things go. That's just how it is. That's what hair does. It grows. And sometimes, we have hair textures and patterns that are independent minded and do not want to be a part of the group. And that's okay. You just have to decide when and how you want to discipline that new growth, place that new growth into your lock. You have to just decide where you want to go with it. I'm a freeformer, so for me, I'm a freeformer and an innie, so I really don't have that problem. But for my daughter, I understand that a lot of times, it can be frustrating for people whose locks grow outside, does not marry automatically into your lock. And all it means is that you need to, train it. So get you some flaxseed gel or some aloe vera gel, and when you have enough new growth outside of the lock, go ahead and put it into the lock, and let it eventually merge into one strand, into one beautiful, beautiful lock. And I would say wait until you get a nice substantial amount to marry into that, a substantial amount of new growth to marry into that the already existing lock, because you just don't want to over twist and over manipulate your hair. You want to continue to have really great healthy locks without any type of thinning or breakage. And as you know, when we over twist, we get breakage, and that's not something that we want. We don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. So this question about innie and outie new growth, this came from you, the viewer. Thank you so much for watching Simply Nails Tiny Studio. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, shame on you. Please do so. Don't forget to like. I will see you next time here in the Tiny Studio. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section, and your question could be picked for the next video, the next Dreadlock Love video, baby. I'll talk to you later. Have a great, great day.